What's up guys, it's Indioda here. Today is May the 4th, happy Star Wars Day. Today I will be ranking all of the live action Star Wars movies. I've never done a Star Wars ranking here on the channel. I'm a massive Star Wars fan, as you know from my reactions. Let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with my ranking, but please remember to be respectful of myself and other people's opinions. And so without further ado, let's get into it. It's not in chronological order down here, but I will be ranking it in chronological order. So we're gonna start with episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace, look, I think I'm going to put it at B tier purely because I enjoy it. There's a lot to love in this. I grew up on the prequels and the originals, to be honest. There's a lot to love in this movie. I think the Duel of the Fates is fantastic. I love Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon. I really enjoy the pod race as well. And also, I think it lays the groundwork really well, even with the massive time jump to episode 2. I do really enjoy this movie. I don't think it's anything amazing, but I enjoy it. So, I'm going to stick it at B tier. Attack of the Clones, I probably like this a bit more than Phantom Menace, to be honest. The last act of the film on Geonosis, I absolutely adore. Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi is phenomenal in this movie. Everything to do with Jango Fett, I find really, really cool. The creation of the clone army, I find really interesting and intriguing, so I love that aspect of this film. And also, we get to see Yoda with a lightsaber fight Count Dooku. Like, that is sick. It does have its flaws in the dialogue and some of the acting from Hayden Christensen, but look, I don't hate it as much as most people do. I've kind of used to it, especially because the original trilogy had some stilted dialogue as well, so I was kind of used to it by the time I got to Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith, instant S tier. Greatest of the prequels. I think that's quite a popular opinion, is that Revenge of the Sith is the best out of the prequels. We have some phenomenal fights, seeing Anakin's turn to the dark side. Brilliant performances by Ian McDiarmid, Ewan McGregor. We get some fantastic lightsaber duels, a brilliant score. I mean, all of these have a really good score, to be honest. Revenge of the Sith might be my most rewatched Star Wars movie. I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest. There's none that really takes the top spot for me, but yeah, I really enjoy Revenge of the Sith. Now onto Solo. Solo, I enjoy it. I'm going to put it at B tier. I enjoy it. I don't think there's anything amazing about it. I saw it in cinemas when it came out. It was fun. It was fine. Alden Ehrenreich, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but him as Han, I thought he was fine. Donald Glover as Lando, really cool. I do really like the moment where they see the Falcon for the first time, and I do really love the Kessel Run sequence. That is just, I think that's the best part of the movie, and I really, really enjoy that. But apart from that, it's fine. It's fine. I enjoy it, but it's not amazing. So, putting it a B tier. On to Rogue One. Rogue One, I really enjoy. I'm going to put it at S tier. I really enjoy Rogue One. I've enjoyed it since I first saw it in cinemas. I saw it maybe 2 or 3 times in cinema, and yeah, it was really good. I've loved it ever since. The characters are great. The tension and the build-up right from the start is fantastic. And I absolutely love Scarif. That whole sequence is just gorgeous. You know, stormtroopers on beaches, like, that's phenomenal. And obviously, Darth Vader's hallway scene, so good. And then it leads into A New Hope really, really well. So I love Rogue One. I'm a big fan of it. Putting it at S tier. A New Hope, I want to put it at S tier, but I think it's an A tier. This one I love. I love A New Hope. This was the first one I watched. I was about 7 years old, and I was captured instantly, as I'm sure a lot of you were when you first watched it. The only reason I'm putting it at A tier is it doesn't evoke the same emotional response that Revenge of the Sith or Rogue One does. I still think it's a great movie. I still really, really enjoy it. Obviously, everything was birthed from this, so some people would consider it a crime putting it at A tier, but that's what I've done. Onto Empire. Empire Strikes Back, S tier. It just took everything that Star Wars did well and elevated it another notch. It feels a lot darker, feels more serious. It's really cool in exploration of the Force, building on the ideas from the first movie, introducing Yoda, and I really enjoy the dark side cave scene. That terrified me as a kid, but like, it's still so cool. And then facing Darth Vader, Luke's connection with Leia, being able to like sense each other through the Force, I thought was really cool. Yeah, that one's an S tier for me. Return of the Jedi, I'm also going to put it A tier. Great conclusion to the franchise. The Emperor, Ian McDiarmid, coming in as Palpatine in like the very last movie and like absolutely killing it in his role. So good. I always get chills in that last fight scene between Luke and Vader. The music swelling, I think it's so cool. The whole Jabba's palace sequence is really fun. I think it's a fun start to the movie. And then all the sequences on Endor, I think, were fantastic as well. Only reason I'm not elevating it is because I don't think the Endor sequence has as much weight as like Luke versus Vader. Obviously, they're both as important as each other. Yeah, to me, the Endor sequences doesn't hold as much emotional weight or tension, I guess. So yeah. All right, on to the sequels. Now, here's where you guys will probably begin to either agree a lot or disagree. Remember to be respectful. Let's start with Force Awakens. S tier. Some of you are like, nope, I'm out. Force Awakens, I went and saw opening night in the cinema, and I thought it was brilliant. I loved it. I absolutely adore this movie, both as a film and because it holds emotional weight for me. Getting to see Star Wars in cinema for the very first time, it was a great experience. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Some people say it's a rehash of A New Hope, but I think the familiarity of it really engages me. I think it honors the original trilogy really well, while still making everything bigger and grander and a great adventure. The new characters as well, I love. So I really think Force Awakens is a top tier Star Wars movie, so S tier for me. Last Jedi. Here's where we get controversial. I'm going to put this at B tier. This movie, I think, has great pros and horrible cons. I think the acting, I think the cinematography, I think the action, all top tier Star Wars. I think it's really, really high production quality. The throne room scene with Rey and Kylo, I watched this movie 3 times in cinemas. Every time that throne room scene got me extremely hyped. However, every time I watch this film, I come away feeling a bit depressed. Purely because they've killed Luke Skywalker. I also don't think they treat Leia very well in this movie. So the treatment of the original trilogy characters I'm not a huge fan of. As well as the whole Finn and Rose plotline, I just don't enjoy it. I can see why it's there in the movie, but I personally don't enjoy it. The Rey and Kylo stuff is great. I really enjoy their dynamic, the stories of those two, but everything else I'm kind of just So that's why it's a B tier. It has some great things that I value and I love, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't like equally as much. Now, Rise of Skywalker. Last one. Some of you are going to hate me for this, but it's a C tier. This is my least favorite Star Wars movie. What I do love about it is the second half. I love Rey defeating Palpatine. I love all the Jedi speaking to her. I think everyone coming in to help at the end, the final battle, is really cool. But I think the first half of the movie is extremely rushed, extremely convoluted, in that there's so much going on in there. It seems like they're rushing through it to try and get to this end point. So the first half of the movie, I do not enjoy. It seems much too quick and it breezes through so much that I think they could have spent a bit more time on. But I do really enjoy the second half of the movie. Even Finn and Janna on the Star Destroyer, Poe in his X-Wing, I think I love all that final battle stuff. But overall, it brings it down a notch for me. But there you have it. That is my Star Wars ranking. Once again, let me know whether you agree, whether you disagree. Remember to please be respectful of me and other people in the comments. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more reactions like this. I can do the Star Wars shows. I can do some Star Wars characters, as well as other franchises like Marvel and Harry Potter and DC. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And until next time, stay hydrated, drink water, and I will see you guys very, very soon.